my years of law enforcement, you just kind of look at what crime am I proving at this point, at this area that I'm at. Okay, so it could be just prostitution, and you stop there. You stop at that charge, and then you go on back to the next call or the next investigation. So you've got to, now being in a unit that specializes in human trafficking, it's like, why? Why is this person?
Tell folks what you want people to understand about recognizing how this happens.
It happens through social media and phones nowadays, with kids having them from all different age groups is a key factor. So something I would
be so secretive.
It's so secretive because I mean, how many times can you be looking at your phone and then like that, nobody knows what you're doing. As a parent, you should be looking into these phones. I know that's tough. That's considered private property, but the kids don't have private property.
Right, exactly.
And just like a stranger walking up to your child, you would be like, "Excuse me, who are you?
Who are you talking to?"
Same thing. What sites are they on? What social media apps are they using? Who are they talking to while they're on there?
And speaking of talking to, the older boyfriends, the older girlfriends. Yes. I mean, sometimes that happens. It doesn't always mean something bad is happening, but you say that should be something to look out for, right? When there's a significant age gap.
Absolutely that, and also people that they don't know. It's a friend of a friend or a third-party friend on there. They're wanting maybe that on there just to have more friends, more likes, and that can lead to this person sending images, sending messages. It's just a gateway into those. Having
extra money, having new things that you didn't buy. You know what you've bought for your kids, your teenagers, and then they come in with new things.
Correct, and their emphasis on these things, this new phone, these new clothes, money. They're talking more about money and the importance of money and making money. Things that a kid outside the realms of I'm going to save up to buy something. It's now like just the way the language for money is used.
And one of these can be tough with teens, being upset or withdrawn, because teens become upset and withdrawn for any number of reasons. But this is another one you should clue in on, right?
That's correct. Because just through investigating these type cases, isolation is key, because what, in my opinion, a trafficker is going to do is they're going to isolate their victim from what they know, from their comfort zone, and create a false comfort zone, and that's where it really starts to just go downhill.
And spending time away. Special Agent Jones, I want you to talk about what happens even in what you've seen in investigations in terms of rescuing, and then stopping this from happening again, stopping the pimps.
So the biggest thing, of course, is the having a stable platform. Once a victim is identified, and getting them the resources and having these advocacy groups, it's huge. We cannot do our job without the advocacy groups, just because of the amount of time and resources that they have.
Right.
We were talking before we came out here, and it was like, I don't know every advocacy group, but I know my advocates. I know who to go to and be like, hey, this is the case that I have. This is what I've identified going on with this victim. What resources can we get them? And they're just
And what kind of resources do you often find, just in the cases you have identified? They need housing, they need therapy, I have to imagine.
Housing, therapy, just everyday needs, but things that we just take for granted. A steady schedule to eat, sleep. And it's routine.
And is some of that because they have been so isolated from their families, there may not be an immediate bridge right back over into the family setting?
Well, part of what I've experienced is when they create that isolation, there's the shame, and that's what the traffickers use. Is they're using that as that forced criminality to separate the victims from normal society.
But some signs that we can look for, that there may be some trouble, that our children may be at risk for this.
Right. One of the big things too is just talking to your children. Unfortunately, we have to talk to our kids about what human trafficking is, what can be done. If you send that image to somebody, that's permanent. It's on the internet. That can, and then we'll say that that's being used for blackmail. To, well, if you don't do this, then I'm gonna send this picture that you sent to all your friends. I mean, there's so many different levels and aspects of it. But just being involved with your child, talking to your child, not texting your child, Actually, face-to-face conversation.
Yes. Sit down at this table.
Right.
Tell me who you're hanging out with.
The traditional
what were they
dinner
doing?
is gone. You know, the traditional dinner where you sit down with your family and talk. I mean, everybody's so busy, but just take the time to talk to your kid and what's going on in their life, what's important to them. Because if you know what's important to them right now, if you see that change, you've got a baseline for this is normal. This is not
right.
normal.
This isolation and hiding from us is not normal. Just drive home that point again. What these pimps are doing, and we should point out it's not always older men. Sometimes it's women. Sometimes it might be somebody who might be close in age, just a recent graduate. The false promises.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that it's been mentioned earlier is they're looking for vulnerability. They're looking for a problem that they can be the solution to. So whatever that be, whether it be money, whether it be clothing, goods such as phones, electronics, things of that nature.
Things that they may not be able to get at home.
That's right.
Here, I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's
Your
really
mom and
this
dad won't get
false
that for you.
nurturing language, right?
That's correct.
And then engaging in commercial sex just to pay for things. Here, you do this, I'm going to give this, you can take it back to your family, right? Trying to make you feel like I'm taking care of your whole family.
Yeah, minimize it. Of course, minimize, you know, hey, we're just in a bind, and if you do this, it would really help just everybody out. You know, you're not just helping yourself, you're helping everyone.